Alright, alright. Still have to turn everything on and send chat and stuff. How are you all doing? Can you hear me okay? Just checking things out. Yeah, how's your day going, people? We have John West, Starseed, Haiti. Do you have to wear a mask fully out of body? Yeah, I think with the new rules. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, how are y'all doing, people? It's been a while since we've been live. Yeah, doing good, like pretty productive. Just starting things out, so okay, let's see. No audio, like no audio in the beginning music, I guess. Dido, good to see here, buddy. Hades asking, can someone astral project telepathically? Pretty much. I mean, depends on what kind of level we're looking at, but sometimes people who are daydreaming or simply imagining and visualizing things, they can astral project other places without really being aware of it, so yeah. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Like, I've been out for a while, so I just came back home, just got my tea, and now I'm gonna start chatting it up with you people. The timing is a bit different, so I'm still getting adjusted to that. Today is Halloween. Okay. Alright, today is Halloween. Good to know. Happy Halloween to you too, Starseed. Let's see if we can find anything cool. I'm just taking it easy for a while. Have I gotten your email? Probably. I wasn't really checking the recent stuff. I was like trying to get back to people who wrote me a while ago. So yeah. Let's check something out. Let's see if we can get some nice themes. Let's see. Was there a gift? Okay, I haven't checked it out if you sent anything, so I don't know yet. Ah, how about this, people? Is this better? Does that fit your Halloween thing? Let's check it out. Yeah, there we go. We have a pumpkin on the screen. Yay! Yeah, it's okay. Like I'm still thinking like I don't really have anything important to say right now, but I've been watching an interview with Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, and my Alex Jones is fucking awesome. He just blew me away. Like I haven't listened to him that much, but like Joe Rogan interview with him for 3 hours, lots of great info, and he's on point, top notch. Okay, whoopsie, I'm just fucking around with the images. Let's see, maybe my camera, which corner? This one's better. Okay, let's switch it up. And then we have a chat. We're gonna move chat over here. Okay, yeah, there we go. This might be a bit better. Okay. Hi Alex, good to see you here. John Roberts, hi buddy. You want me to check your Facebook PMs? Okay, like let's do it quick. I'm probably not gonna read everything all over the place, but just like to glance sort of what you wrote. There's a lot of messages. Just a quick look. There's a Halloween thing. Do you have any specific messages or something? Because I'm just like looking quickly, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I don't know when to really start talking it up about certain things, because like I watched Joe Rogan with Alex Jones. There's a lot of topics to cover, things they've talked about. Man, Alex is on point with what's going on in the world with COVID, with his journalist skills and just seeing things ahead. Like a lot of people are asking, like, do you know, like, if something's big and it's gonna happen, do you know what it's gonna be? And like Alex just makes it really clear, saying, you know, like, hey, we're gonna have this massive voting, and a lot of people are actually voting for Trump. He's winning massively, but the mainstream media is like, no, Biden's winning. So wherever you look at the statistics, most of the countries will say like, oh, Biden is a thing, and it's a massive lie. And yeah, so like seems like that big event that everyone is talking about, that like no one really knows what it is actually gonna be more of a dark side fighting for their lives. It's kind of like they're losing big time, and they're afraid that with Biden they're gonna lose most of the control. So it's gonna be like quite a fight, shootout and stuff. It's kind of like you know how the prey is the most dangerous when it's hurt, and like before death. If you like sort of like hurt a lion and tiger, they're gonna still fight you until the very last breath. Like a snake, you know, you can mess with it, but it's gonna like grab into you with its fangs and hold on to you until as long as it can, you know. So like bad guys are just like that, you know, like they're trying to hit us and mess with us a lot, and eventually, you know, like with them losing this fight, it's like if they lose the whole thing with voting and stuff. They already have set up the whole thing with Rise, with Black Lives Matter, using like actors and puppets of like just hire people and make them go through this whole thing. Because a lot of people who are into seeing what's going on, even like the black people, are actually like, hey, they see everything clearly, they see through the whole picture, and because of this whole message of Black Lives Matter and stuff, they wake up and they find out the real info, like, hey, like this bullshit, this is like messing people up. It's not even about like the guy that was shot by like killed by the police guy, but still, yeah, Trump will win 100%. They're saying it's weird how Trump got corona and then quickly got better after treatment. Yeah. I mean, like, what, it's like vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. That's a lot of these like supplements that you need for your immunity. So just take that, and you know, he also has like awesome team with tons of medical treatments if he needs that. So I've seen like I've seen this post. Let's see. Let's touch some interesting topics, I guess. I got this thing right here. I'm gonna pull it out. There is no pandemic, right? And they show like a lot of these things, like 9% of people who died had at least 2.6 persistent conditions. So like they have like information on all the people that have different stuff. Like people that have died, for example, had at least, the fuck is that? Influenza, or like respiratory things, cardiac arrest. Tons of people who had actually other shit going on, and you know, like died from COVID. Like there's hundreds of people talking it up how their loved ones, for example, died from cancer or other stuff happened, and it's more like, yeah, it's like they have to sign a document like, okay, like my relative died from COVID, just so they can get the body from the morgue, otherwise they're not gonna get it. So like there's a lot of bullshit going on. It's crazy, but yeah. I might find a post with tons of people just sharing their stories. I thought about making a video just capturing everyone with their stories about like COVID, like losing their relatives, and how, you know, it's like they died from cancer, got shot, died in a car accident, and the death certificate says COVID. Like, cool. So there's a lot of that bullshit. I'm trying to like go through a few pages to check it out, but I doubt I'm gonna see it, so fuck it. Anyway, just something to talk it up about. Symbol of my necklace, it's the Tree of Life. One side is the Tree of Life, and the other side is has a little text. Yeah, I might do the cosplay, like, I might not time it for the Halloween, just like at some point. The Halloween thing, it has a lot to do with the rituals of, you know, shape-shifting and shit like that, so I'm like, fuck it, you know. Yeah. So, we're just chilling here, letting me warm up and talk shit about anything, and then I'm gonna look at your questions and answer them. So, yeah. Okay, Starseed has a question. Do I make a helmet or earmuffs to protect against it, or how do you stop entities getting into your ear? Um, yeah, like I've probably like had only one of those experiences where I actually felt like there's like entity like probably the size of like a little fly getting close, so like like trigger like felt too real. That was probably the thing, but uh, yeah, huh? With the entities, I don't know, like if you were able to see them, if you're able to see them, just shapeshift them, just like make sure they're out of your place. John was asking, did you see rituals on Cosmic Ages channel? I found it interesting. Cosmic Ages, like, no, I haven't. I think I've sent me a link about it. Like, I did saw you write me a message on email, but I have not checked it yet. Robbie's asking, how could you manifest something without having bad beings involved? Basically, having manifestation with no strings attached to any helpful being wanting something from you. I think mainly it depends on what specifically you want to manifest. If it's something relatively, let's say, small and something that's not gonna affect you too much, as in like it's not gonna be like massive scale. It's gonna be just for you. Then they're more like, oh, okay, like whatever. It's not a big deal. If it allows something bigger, like more people, bigger projects and stuff, then they might want to interact a bit more with you. Mainly for me, it's like depending on the scenario, what specifically I'm manifesting, and depending how big it is. Like if I have a goal that I know if I'm gonna get it, it's gonna change my life massively, and because of that, those like on the other side will be like, ah, fuck, they need to get me. Then you're definitely gonna get some stops. But besides that, I think like just like having like whole like visualization from A to Z, not a single negative thought, just like having a perfect case scenario where you see everything clearly, where you work on the feeling states as if you have it, kind of like law of attraction, Joe Dispenza thing. Then you sort of like lift your vibration to the point where it's so high that anyone close to you are like, ah, can't get close. So that might be a thing. John was saying he's curious about how Lithuanian political system works in comparison to US. There's quite a few differences, but eventually it's like the dark side has their crap on it as well. There's a lot of like this recently with the new new parliament. They have changes in the government, like people have to wear masks outside and shit like that. It's like fuck, like so better not getting out of the house and stuff if you don't want to wear it. It's like lots of bullshit, and they have like a support for Soros because he has more control over it, and it's kind of like a lot of our politicians get paid like at least $600,000. It's kind of like they have documentation where someone dug out the emails like if you announce the corona thing and if you make people wear masks and stuff, you're gonna get $600,000 or like up to $700,000. So when you buy out the whole parliament's like, oh fuck yeah, let's do it. So it's too easy. It's too easy to get bought out. Like our officials, it's kind of like a poor country, so everyone's kind of like a sellout. It's kind of sad. John Roberts is saying, I used to like Alex Jones and still resonate with some of the stuff, but most likely he is CIA shill. But even if don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, he still says a lot of the truth. Yeah, like I have not kept up with Alex Jones that much to like have a clear picture of what he's talking about and stuff. But from my personal experience, like with a lot of like people who have quite the voice out there, who have like a lot of like audience and stuff, And like Alex, him being the journalist, and a lot of people getting in touch with him, it's so easy to get set up. It's like the bad guys like, okay, let's set Alex up, and they come and give him a lot of truth, but at the same time quite a few lies. And while he like, okay, this is like legit info, and he shares a lot of truth, and those few lies will be exactly what the bad guys will like, okay, lied about that bitch, and all of a sudden they change things up in the world. Like all of a sudden it's kind of like the truth, and seems like Alex is the bad guy. So like there's a lot of that variation where good people are being set up, especially with the journalism, those that are still kind of like left and doing hard ass work. I mean, Alex was the one that exposed like Bohemian Groove and stuff, which is like kind of cool. A lot of details about him, like, I don't know, haven't listened to him that much and stuff, but just for what I've heard in that interview, there's a lot of good stuff. Starseed, like I mentioned, it's not about shielding. It's like if you can see entities, then simply shapeshift them, make them disappear and stuff. It's like if you can't shield yourself, attack entities. Barefoot's saying, so I'm being gang-stung by a few different groups of reptilian hybrids here in San Diego. They have enslaved the powerful abilities now that they are activated more. They're all of one hive mind and have ability to fully control and manipulate other people's thoughts and feeling states and emotions, as well as dream manipulation. Yep. Yeah, they do a lot of that. So Barefoot, how are you going through it? Like, how are you fighting these reptilians? How are you trying to protect yourself now? Because, like, it does happen a lot. And it's not just a few reptilian groups. There's a lot of, like, amphibians and other ETs who get in the picture and actually act worse than those black ops. And it's pretty bad. Hades saying, I'm in Emirates and we have already vaccines here and microchips under your skin injected like vaccines. Damn. Yep, that's pretty bad. Yeah, Barbarella, you're right. Like the Halloween is one of those places where, or like events when they pretty much like just slaughter and fuck around and shapeshift and all that. So no cosplays today. Yeah, just for the theme of it. TD Edition is saying, last night I was meditating. After 10 minutes, color started appearing, mostly green, and I saw an energy vortex which was getting closer and bigger. At the end I got scared and got out of it. It's a good practice, TD. I'm glad you're practicing it and, you know, finally seeing some stuff. That's really good. The only thing to sort of like suggest, I would say just like try to confront it. A lot of these things, like they'll try to scare you, or some of the things will seem too big, too obnoxious, but if you can confront it, you're gonna go through it and you might get a body or like have some like awesome experiences. Spade in there is asking, what if you have OCD where you feel like you get a lot of unwanted negative thoughts? I would go with addressing it. What kind of thoughts are you getting, Spade? Is it like feeling anxious about something, feeling not good about it, or something like you'd have to be specific about what you're feeling and what kind of thoughts you're getting, because becoming specific about what it is, you can target these thoughts and just do some release work and go deep within the source, and might find that like, hey, there's actually some mechanisms that shove it in your body, or you know, shove it in entities, other people, so you can definitely clear it out. Robbie, have you heard of George L. Breslin? He's the one that has this method of your own universe and this universe, and this is where you can actually do some of that manifestation work and get some good results. Wow. Say sorry about your family. She says like my family insists that I wear a face mask. I said no because I know they are harmful because of a loss of oxygen, and I told them off, and now I'm getting a silent treatment. That's toxic behavior. Silent treatment is toxic. That's really not good. Starseed is saying like she gets surrounded by 10 against 1, and she wants help regarding banishing Mina and Reyes. And yeah, Starseed, like for me, it's not about like believing you or not. I believe everyone. Like whatever story you tell me, I believe it. It's just trying to help you out and stuff. There's a lot of like people on the list and different various like I'm free in the mornings, so like I tried writing to you a few times, and I'm not sure if you were free or sleeping and stuff. But yeah, like. The thing is, like, also the part is, like, if you're surrounded, like, 10 against 1, a lot has to do with what you believe in. And if you believe that they can overpower you, that they're stronger, that is part of that what affects your abilities to, be a victim. Xul is saying, like, he had, like, 4 raw lucid dreams tonight. That's good. Okay, there's pitch darkness and... Right. Well, I'm glad you're getting some lucid dreams out of the deal. Louis saying, how about on full moon, do group resolution to sabotage some of the rituals? I mean, this is why I have the problems I have, but we would be the thousands doing it full moon, millions. Yeah, that'd be an event. Just like have to choose the goal and write up kind of like a script for everyone to like lock into it, like to visualize and stuff. But we can definitely do it. Dad is saying he's getting more and more dreams with his family. Really, are they good or are they kind of like interesting, weird? How are your dreams, Eris? John is saying, hi, recently I've been going through some transformation, if I could name it, but now I just don't feel like the need to do anything. Yeah, that happens. As long as you are feeling okay, as long as you're like, hey, finally, like things are stable and they're chill, enjoy that moment. It's not gonna last forever, but enjoy that like while it lasts. And if you're just like you were working on yourself, and after this transition and transformation, it's like, kind of like lazy and bored, you might have hit this emotional tone level where you're actually doing pretty good, but you reached the good tone of boredom, and this is like really high, but at the same time hard to confront. So you have to like look at your feeling states and how you do daily. Hi Matthew, hi Monica, hi Demon, hi Plumeria, lots of you people here, nice. I'm slowly scrolling down and yeah, just answering questions. Monica Heath is asking, hi, love your broadcast, see anything positive for me soon? I haven't really checked, Monica, but we can focus on that. How's your life, Monica? How have you been doing since the last session? Have you had any good transitions, any good wins or not? And how's you doing? Hades asking, why do I keep getting holographic formulas? When my eyes are closed, data downloads on futuristic machines and aircrafts. I'm not a scientist, but I wish I was. At least I could make use of it. Yeah, like, when are you getting it? Like, usually just, like, you close your eyes and you get it? Or it's like, you kind of go to sleep and then you get it? Because, it seems to me like you were finally unlocking your abilities to sort of, like, look at your past lives and just download information. So that's pretty good. Demon Nikki is asking, are you able to move your physical objects with your astral form while out of body, and are you also able to move physical things by projecting energy by them while out of body? I've done it a few times, but this is like just not my interest and not something big to me. Like, I'm more interested like going out and learning things and actually helping out beings. I've done it like about 3-4 times, but it wasn't like, oh cool, now I'm gonna do this and this and this. Like, whatever. It's kind of like learning a name, like, so, not a big deal for me. Okay. Barefoot is saying that basically they're controlling these human hybrids and they want you dead. You're not doing too well combating them at this point, and things getting insanely out of hand, and you begun missing game. Yeah, that's not good. I'm like missing time. Yeah, I'm scrolling down to your other replies. Barefoot, are you doing any of the, let's say, visualization work? Just looking at them, and do you know specifically who they are? Just kind of like human reptilian hybrids, or are there anyone else involved? Do you know maybe their hierarchy and all? Because it's quite a thing. When they start messing with you, you have to find out who it is exactly, what do they want from you. If they're just close, trying to mess up your physical life, you're gonna like be focused on the physical while you don't take care of the big stuff. Plumeria66 is asking, what happens to babies and children after they die? It's pretty much same as humans here on Earth. When a physical body drops dead, you know, the kind of like the astral bodies out there. It's better for the babies and children a little bit, because they're still not programmed, they're still not really messed up by the system, and you know, like, really depends. A lot of people, like, let's say when they get into physical body, like still being in the womb, they can still remember a lot of their past lives and what's going on. They can be aware, like while being in the mother's womb, they can be aware of this life, like hear people talk and start getting programmed and stuff. So let's say babies like unborn, they have really good chance of just like getting out and like being free from this place. Simply babies and children, if they go through something harsh, and you know, if we're not touching the topics of pedophilia, sacrifice, and other stuff, a lot of them have quite a high chance of like, hey, okay, just like unhappy experience, but like I'm out, and you know, they actually have someone to help them out. But those that do go through something that's like a more of a sacrifices and raping and stuff, then it's more like even like after the physical body drops that they have other parties like interested in them, like capturing them and just using them as slaves and stuff. So there's a lot of variations, but there's a lot of people targeting us, and especially young people. John West is saying, I'm going to say this on live stream, so I'll push myself to do it. Soul Country Revocation and George all present I will be using in full force this week. I will share my results next Saturday. Awesome, John. Do you have any topics in specific that you might want to address and share with us, so that we could say like, John, don't forget to do this, John. So it's kind of like nag you into this. I thought of something crazy, like maybe like making a video, and with every like it gets, I would do like 10 setups or something. kind of like just like a challenge for myself where like a bunch of people could like fuck up the stats and have me like suffer with the workouts and all, but I'm not sure if I'm going there yet. Something to do though. Dash is asking, do you believe that some people can make things disappear in another dimension? Yes, I do. And the other part, or about the people who accidentally came to Earth and are stuck. Yeah, this is sadly the second part that I know, like about people coming here on Earth accidentally and then getting stuck, is actually quite the often thing. uh, Matt was mentioning the one day, like Halloween, the one day Michael Myers shows up in his dreams, or Freddy from Nightmares Allstream. Yeah, be careful, buddy. Plameri is asking, how do I get rid of someone in the astral getting into my bed when I'm sleeping? A naked guy climbed in and I could feel and see him, thanks. Yeah, if you see him and how he looks, you can simply have him shapeshift. You can sort of like see him and imagine trapping him in a box or in another realm where he's kind of like stuck and cannot get out and cannot come back and mess with you. That'd be like a thing, like mainly like visual projections. Like you have to be creative with how you're gonna deal with them, and be sure that you have a belief that like, hey, I can do this. I can be powerful and I can affect you all. Because if you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mess with you and I'm not sure if I can, you're probably stronger than me and stuff. Like, what's just to have any little bit of doubt? Once you're like kind of like not trusting yourself, they have full control and they can mess you up. So you have to be really harsh with your beliefs and like be sure that you are sort of like hyping yourself up for all this work. TD Edition is asking how to be brave and relaxed when you go through the unknown. Well, what is it that you're afraid of in the unknown? Like, it's usually just the part of like your mind is trying to pull up something scary or some bad scenarios. It's not like you see the darkness and you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be such a great thing. Yeah, let's go. Like, it's like there's not good scenarios that you're coming up with. It's more like, oh shit, I'm gonna die or something. Usually, like if you're seeing anything and you're getting these horrors, like where you might die, where you're afraid and all, man, this is gonna be the thing that's gonna stop you and like trap you and all. So you have to like be ready to drop your physical body. You have to be ready to drop dead, because if you have no fear of death, that like all those things will not affect you. Like it's just like so it's just coming at you. Just like so like just try to confront it every little bit. Like if you're practicing meditation and you're seeing these colors and like that vortex coming in, just practice like looking at it and confronting it. It's just like really having to face your fear, because eventually it might be the best experience you might have. Norwood's asking, do you think this full moon is going to cause changes in this reality? I know, like, for some people, they're more reactive to the full moon. Sometimes they go nuts and act a bit weird and all. For me, I don't really notice any changes. It's more like, just another day here. But, like, when we're talking about this world, I feel like a lot of things are coming into picture, like, with the November 3rd, like, with the whole voting and elections in America, with full moon, and, like whole timing and stuff. There's a lot of things, one after another, building up for this big thing coming up, right? Stars is asking, Akvile, did you ever want any reads from any psychics? I did one for you, but I do not know if there's anything specific you need right now or info for how you can do projects the best. Starseed, I've never actually thought about it. It's more like I am so productive working on my things and just like focusing on one thing after another that I don't think like I need help from this or I need that and that and that. It probably would be interesting, but I haven't really given any focus or like this is not a big deal for me, I guess. At least not now. Barefoot, like as I'm reading your story with the Black Ops, MK Ultra Mind Control, beta programming and Love Bite and all that, have you tried any, like probably you tried everything, I don't know, like removing entities, like getting rid of soul contracts and agreements with these beings. It's probably just like the surface, like touching the surface with these, because like when they go hard, you have to find out like what exactly are they targeting. And like specifically, like it's not the physical body that they're trying to get rid of. It's specifically something you have spiritually that like maybe information or something else, and you have to like watch out exactly what do they want. And have you tried communicating with these beings, like asking what specifically they want? Is it just the torture or something else? Major Football is asking, I've noticed something strange happening when I'm interacting with other people. I feel a tension in my body, like muscle twitches on legs, arms, or spine, like, and I do not have any medical problems. I had a few clients who sort of had this like happening as well, and more like just the entities that were close to them, and that pretty much like try to shake you up and like try to like make you look awkward and all. So that might be a thing. It's like addressing some of the anxiety issues, or like just whole twitching and looking into deeper problems. Cosmos United is asking, are super ugly men, hairless or toothless with or demented behaviors that appear in dreams still human, dead people, or shapeshifters? There's all kinds of variations, but you could consider it a being that has simply a form and shape to mess you up, and it also like depends on what's going on in the dream state, or like like whenever you have this experience, what's going on with that specifically like ugly man. Are they attacking you? Are they trying to mess with you? Or they're just there in the picture? What's going on with them, and how are they affecting you? Because like then you can tell like, oh, this is just like a conversation, and that's just a normal person who looks kind of weird and like I don't feel comfortable, or is it actually just another entity trying to scare you with the looks and all? So like really depends on what you're experiencing out there. Also we have Flavian, Popa, Philip, what else? Eric, Elias, lots of new people here. Thank you all for coming up. So yeah, so I'm slowly answering the questions and scrolling down. What are your focus lately? Like, what are you people focusing on? What are you trying to work on? Any topics you're interested in? And I don't know, just like looking into what can I do to help you the most, I guess. Norwood Craft is asking, have you ever traveled out of body and went inside of a black hole? Yeah, a few times, and for me it was more of a few portals and then like a space like station. You can actually just jump in, like feels like you're like, oh fuck, you're kind of like stuck in this eternity of falling and extending, but at the same time you can just get in like, oh, that was all sort of like a hologram with different physics, and they actually have this spacecraft there, like kind of base and stuff. There's a lot of variations. Xulu saying, no, I feel very lucky someone like Akvile worked with a guy like me. I have brought many of my problems upon myself by certain lifestyle changes, hate, anger, lust, etc. This will make me rethink a lot. Well, Akvile, like, it's my pleasure that, like, I'm able to help at least a little bit. That chef is asking, do you know any people who are stuck? And if so, did they tell you about their world? Yeah, I had a few people who were like, hey, I'm not from here. It's more like they have a lot of memories and recalls from their past lives, and it's more like they've been just like in the middle of their life in other planets. And there's a lot of variations of how what they can look like. For one, this was like this massive futuristic city, just a lot of like these flying cars, and the cities had like kind of like two levels, like a upper city where like a lot of like buildings and structures was actually kind of like levitating and floating and all. But you can have like floating skyscrapers, kind of like if you've seen this hologram in China where they had a flying city. I can probably like pull it up. Let's see, probably this one. I'm not sure. I don't know how legit this shit is. Let's see if I can pull it up. But there's basically a video where I think in China they had this like city of monoliths and stuff. Yeah. So like kind of like in the clouds. A few people kind of like had a few of these breaks and all, but basically like there are a lot of worlds where they will have technology that can actually have cities float, and there's a lot of like text out there. So like it's a lot of like amazing things, and then they have other ETs coming in and actually kidnapping them, pulling their consciousness out of their body, like trapping them here on Earth and stuff. So it's kind of like in the middle of their life they were busy, they were like kind of like captains and like had like different kind of roles, and sucked out of their bodies there, shoved here, stuck here, and suffering. So this is a traumatic experience. It's definitely a traumatic experience. TD Edition is asking, when we die, can they force us to be born on Earth or only if we agree with them? It really depends on what you experience after death. Some people will light, some people will just go to their belief system territory. It's kind of like a bubble, and there's like billions of these places to go to. You can actually appear in your own creative universe. You might see some archons, you might actually just be in like complete void and like, oh, look, I just have to look around and see what is up and all. So like lots of variations of what can await for you after your physical body drops dead. A lot depends on what you believe in, and your beliefs will sort of guide you. But if you're like kind of not really sure about what's going on out there, they might have things like soul traps and stuff that might be an issue if you don't know about them and if you don't have your guard on. But apart from that, you can simply like, hey, I am gonna have my own realm, my own physical body drops that I'm gonna appear there, and you're just gonna go to your belief belief system territory. So like it's not gonna affect you that much. I am Yahoo is asking, hi Akvile, are we stuck with the persona we're programmed with as long as we're here in the physical body, or do we have to die before we're free of the programming? You can change yourself and your persona completely while you're here on Earth. It's all of this programming is like what you've been living with for as long as you've been here alive, and you can always take it and change it up completely. So it's all up to you. If you don't put any time in it, it's like really confronting who you are and what you've been through and into this whole programming, then you're not gonna change. And once you're out there, you know, all of this like programming in case, most of it will be gone. It's not gonna affect you, like a lot of these like words and thoughts is gonna be gone. But if it's your character, if it's part of you, you know, your persona is not really gonna change. The case drops, but who you are is gonna be the same. Like, you know, like it's kind of like if one person is an asshole, once they're dying, they're still an asshole. Like they don't change nature and stuff. So if you're more like, hey, I have this kind of personality and stuff, and you might not like something about yourself, you can always change it. I feel like doing release work is probably one of the best things to try out. So yeah, that would be something to look into. Alex is saying, so far a bit of success with summer vacation, but for me, what I find happens in each time I fall asleep, I get hijacked and they create new contracts, so that will be the focus, but progress nonetheless. Yeah, them messing with us when we fall asleep is definitely a thing. You could make a contract for yourself that no one can add agreements to you, no one can change it but yourself. That would probably give you something like, like, hey, this is the rule I have and stuff, but like, we don't want it backfiring you if they make any clones and stuff, so you have to be kind of like aware of this. But then you have to look into who are they that create the new contracts, because you can actually, if you know specifically who it is, you can target them, Alex, and try to follow the whole hierarchy. Not as a specific group that's like targeting you right now, but who's above them, and them. Like try to go as much as possible. See if you like find where it originates from, and it might be even like from your past if this group like this targeting you. So you have to be really specific. TD Edition is asking, how have you watched They Live movie? Yeah, They Live is a really good one. Totally worth watching. John O'Ford is asking, have you used psychedelics to enhance your psychic abilities? Also, for someone who has anesthesia, the inability to imagine while being awake, is it still possible to astral project? So the first question, have I used psychedelics to enhance my psychic abilities? No, unless Lemon is the one. But no, I have not. Haven't tried it yet. And then, can you do astral projection if you have an ability to imagine while being awake? Totally. There are tons of people here on Earth who don't see jack shit. It's all complete black, like complete pitch black, and like you can't see anything, but that does not stop you from your ability to get out of body, to do astral projection. It's more like, it's kind of like a physical limitation that you have right now. But you can definitely have wins, and you can definitely, get out of body and see things for yourself. So it's more like just like this minimal limit, but it's not something that will be like primarily affecting absolutely everything. It's just like small little thing. You have like billions of tools to use, and your visualization is just like one of them. So it's not a thing. One of the things that Rich and I have been testing out, it's, like how people wake up in the morning and they try to recall their dreams. And a lot of times they wake up like, they just sort of like, before even becoming super aware, they know what happened in the dream state or like in the astral and stuff, and they wake up, they're like, and they're gonna maybe roll over, like kind of like, hey, I'm awake, and I dream about something. What was it? Oh fuck, I can't remember. It's called black and stuff. So like people like have like lots of variations, but like that dream recall sometimes is a thing where you kind of like, you've had it, you've seen it, but you just open your eyes and boom, it's as if like someone just took out your memory, you don't have it anymore. So a lot of times we're trying to recall it, and like then we get frustrated, like I can't remember the details, and we focus on all these issues with like, fuck, like not again and stuff. But one thing you could try doing is, instead of like trying to remember the dream, is simply don't even think about I have to remember this and this and this. Sort of like just try to relax. And what was sort of like the last few things that you remember seeing? Did you sort of like, maybe there was a scenery, like maybe you were sitting on the couch, maybe there was a specific color, and you're just like sort of like relax with your eyes closed and like focus on that imagery you've seen the last before like waking up, and you can actually sort of like bring yourself back to the dream. So it's kind of like instead of working on remembering here, like, well, like, physical body is here, and your focus is becoming here more on the physical while you're trying to sort of like process it, you're just like fuck it. You basically tune out and basically go back into the dream and continue it. So like a lot of people can actually do like continuous dreams. So yeah, you can totally do this thing. Do you have to be lucid to have out-of-body experience? Yes, lucidity. The more aware and awake you are, the better. If you're in a dream, you're basically like, oh, this just happened. You wake up, like, you kind of like, oh, that happened, but you had zero control over it. You had like no awareness that you actually like, hey, I'm in a dream. Whoa, awesome. If you have no awareness in the dream, you're just like sort of like an actor playing a role, then for you to get out of body, it is possible. It's definitely possible. But if you could be aware in a dream that like, hey, this is a dream. Whoa. And all of a sudden you have more awareness, say, hey, I'm aware that I'm aware. I can actually see these things and stuff. And from that it's a massive buildup. So like in out of body experience you need that kind of freedom. Otherwise it's more like, you're out there, you're experiencing all these worlds, but you have no control over it. So for me, like, it's kind of like, if you can't do this, it's not gonna be fun. Barefoot, you're sharing a lot of the details about what you're going through. Try writing me an email, like whenever, maybe after the stream. Write me an email with what you're going through. It's a whole lot. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do actually help or anything, but just like to look into why are you being targeted. Like physical body and like what's going on specifically right now is obvious, but in the past, looking in your past, and specifically like trying to track down these groups and seeing what do they want from you on the bigger picture, that would be a thing. Waves 852 is asking, to get through the fantasies on our own, what are some of the tools we can use? There's a lot. Biggest one is trusting yourself. Because simply, to find entities, like I mentioned in the past dreams, you have to give them labels. If you look at yourself and, hey, okay, so this is the situation. Maybe right now I'm not talking clearly. Maybe I'm all over the place and kind of like not being clear, not giving my message or anything. You can look at this like that way, or like I don't know what kind of issues you have with, like, I mean, like specifically like right now that you would like to address with entities, because I know you wrote me an email with what you want to address in sessions, so I'm keeping that in mind. But for example, if you have like, okay, like feeling tired, feeling programmed, feeling helpless, having fears about getting out of body and stuff, can't do anything in life, like issues with relationships. But again, it's a lot of things that are all over the place, like this massive area. So you have to get specific. You have to look into, okay, what is it exactly what I want to address? Is it the health stuff? Is it relationships? Is it career-wise? Is it me, myself, like my well-doing, my growth and stuff? Like specifically, you choose the aspect of your life. And for example, if it's health, then you can go into, maybe you have myopia, maybe your back hurts, maybe you're getting headaches and stuff. Maybe you have this kind of like chatter in your head where it's always negative, it's a lot of pessimism, it's always like kind of worries and concerns, and it's a lot of like issues that we're going through, but you have to be specific. Like for example, like, okay, having a lot of like worries, like worrying a lot. Now finally we have kind of like a label. So, like, worrying a lot is your item or your issue, and so, okay, so if entities are causing it, you're the one on the receiving end. If the entities are the worriers and they are worrying, you're picking up whatever they're going through, thinking that it's you feeling and thinking that whatever they are. And so for you now you have to like, okay, so the entity cluster that is worrying, and the entity cluster that might have myopia, the entity cluster that might have anxiety, entity cluster that blah blah blah. We look at what kind of issues we have and we put the label on them, and the rest, you don't have to see them. If you cannot see them, that's okay. Simply think, and once you know the entity cluster that like might cause you anxiety, or the entity cluster that is kind of like worrying, right? So you're being specific with what kind of label you're putting on them, because like there's a lot of clusters and we have to address one thing at a time. Once you know who exactly it is, the next step is to actually talk to them. Like, okay, so you're like a counselor. You are asking them questions like, okay, so entities, what might be some reasons for worrying? And they're like, well, I don't know, our big bosses like just like are gonna kill us if we don't mess with you. And you're like, oh, okay, so when did that happen? Like, when was the first time so your boss kind of threatened you and stuff? And you would just basically ask them questions, and you don't have to hear the voice talking to you. You can sort of pick up the thoughts telepathically, and you will know what they're saying to you, what they feel and stuff. Your job is either to wake them up and have them go away. If they wake up, they're gonna have a better life and just leave you right away because they don't want to mess with you in the first place. If you're just like noticing the anti-cluster is messing with you, then you would have to just okay, so the anti-cluster that is worrying, call up your leader. So just give them a command to get their leader, who's the boss of that big group, and you just like, okay, kind of like get a feeling that the leader is here, and you can either thank them for their work and whatever they've been trying to do to you, like, okay, like, yeah, like, you've been trying to mess with you and stuff, thank you for all your lessons or the help or whatever, like, they might have different agendas and stuff, so you kind of like, you can be understanding and give them like, okay, kudos to you, well done on like trying to mess with me and stuff, which is okay. But now your mission is done, you've did your job pretty well fucking with me, so you can go and stuff. And they're like, oh, okay. And because they got allowance to leave from you, they're good to go. Other times you can just simply address the leader and sort of like imagine it being sucked out. You can have like galactic vacuum like out there removing these things, or you can give them a command like, hey, I don't want you here anymore, leave and stuff. So you can clear out these things in a lot of ways. And that's just like one, like communicating with the entities and getting them out like that. Then we have soul contract revocation. You can move a lot of entities in agreements with that thing. Release work is a big deal. So yeah, this is just like a few. Cosmos United is asking, how would you revoke someone being on top of you and superior no matter what? Like this particular type of agreement, no matter what they, for instance, elite controllers, are on top of us. Okay. No matter what. So, this thing is like, no matter what is more of a command. And no matter what is just one kind of scenario. It doesn't touch absolutely everything. No matter what is just, you know, kind of like the astral. It's specific frequency, it touches specific parts, but not everything. So you would have to do more work even after that. Yeah, but how would you someone being on top of you and superior? So we'd have to be specific with who it is. Is it like parents or someone you're in love with or someone in your work and stuff? Like having this specific person, now like a number X or like a number 15, for example, just plug in the name. This person being superior to me, this person doing this to me. But superior has a lot of also meanings of how he or she is superior to you. Are they trying to control you? Are they trying to suppress you? Are they trying to limit you? Are they trying to harm you? Are they trying to tell you what to do in your life? And all of these things include a lot of agreements and items to address at the same time. It's like when doing these sessions, we have to be very specific. No matter what, touches a small band. It's kind of like no matter what I do, this keeps happening. So you're just like touching one specific item, but like even if you remove this specific person, there might be another other people. It seems like this work can go non-stop, but let's see. I want to help you out. It's just like, it would be really good if we could plug in some kind of person and just like try to work with it. Let's see. How would you revoke someone being on top of you and superior no matter what? Well, these are like two very different things. Someone being on top of you is one area, someone being superior to you is another thing. And then what would you like to change? Superior as in like you want to be on top, you want to be stronger, you want to be the boss, or more like, hey, I want equality. Like, depends on what kind of results. What is it that you expect out of revoking these agreements and getting rid of this issue? Because you have to know specific goal you're going for and not just like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna free this and like my life's gonna change. Good luck. There's a lot of this. Okay. But it's like two different items. Like, look, I'm gonna scroll down. Professor being rejectful and superior no matter what. Let's go. So then you would go like, these are like two different things. Could you send me this email right now? I might look into this and we could do like a session right now, see if we can find any agreements. Let's see. Mary is asking, why did I stop spontaneously astral projecting? It used to happen to me, and now, when I try it consciously, it consciously doesn't work. Can you explain? There might be a lot of reasons. Like, when was the first times you noticed that, like, it's just stopped happening? Did anything change in your behavior? Any actions? Any like events in life where a person says something and it like traumatized you? You got sad and stuff, or whatever. There's a lot of like reasons why it can happen. Dietary, any kind of events in life, your own beliefs, triggers. There might be some phrases in the background that like turns on the commands from the past life and actually gets it going. So like to say like specifically like, oh yeah, this thing is happening and that's why you can't do it. There's gonna be tons of things. You'd have to tell me more of the story, like why did it happen, and the first time. When was the first time you noticed, like, you're not getting astral projection anymore, and basically like, hey, I just woke up and nothing's going on. Like, what did you do before that? How did you go through this whole process and stuff? And there's a lot of like things involved. Okay, let's see. So I just got whoa, that's a long one. Okay, I just got this message from Cosmos United, like regarding the soul contract session. We'll see. Cosmos also, like, as I'm reading this, is it more like a lot of this is like in the astral or in the physical? Like that whole rejection and being on top. Is it happening more in the astral or the physical? Sage is asking, do you feel humanity will wake up from this virus before it's too late? I think after the election, there's gonna be a lot of shit going on with few parties like really trying to control people and failing. So like I think that will be a big push into waking people up on what's going on. Xu is asking, what are your thoughts on antipsychotics like Haldol, Seroquel, Zyperia, and stuff? Do they make you reptile food? I think, because I have not researched them, I do not know the details, but I pretty much myself am against taking any pills, like just staying away from anything as much as possible. Just because they have lots of chemicals and we don't want to poison our body with anything. So I personally would be against it, but I have not researched the details, so I do not know. Okay, so Monica is asking, is there some correlation to the ego, to the unresolved issue and what's going on in the dumps, and to infiltrate based upon DNA testing, dicing, slicing in prison camps? And can you explain, please? So the whole thing with DNA, it does appear in other realms. It's not something you drop. It's just something part of us, and it's more like as we change as consciousness, we can sort of like relate to I am and this and this and this. We form our personalities and who we are as a being and stuff. So that's part of it, but we can always drop it and change it. So it's more like the colors is like more like unresolved issues. Is stuff that happened to you in the past. You might have been suffering. You might have been set up. You might have gone through something harsh. And that sets you up into where you either like fail or you have to change up your life in different ways and stuff. There's a lot of things that happened in our past that still affects the present. And that shows up through our personality, through our ego, through entities messing with us and also. Like there's a lot of factors. But consider it like not because of ego, but because of our past. So like you'd have to look into what happened in your past lives to understand your present even better. That would be like bigger thing. Yeah. John Roberts is saying, I still need help remembering getting out of body. Been doing mad contract removals and got a good beeswax candle since your last live stream. That's great, John. What are some of the topics you're addressing? Maybe I can help you get specifics, because like I've seen people have like similar or like common items regarding getting out of body and also remembering the experiences. So maybe we can find something to help you out more. Okay, so Elias is asking, can we say that every theory or perspective is valid or true relatively? Yeah. The thing is, it's kind of like there is no truth. Truth is bullshit because it's all depending on your perspective, your point of view. I've shown it before, but like, why not? Perception of truth, maybe we can find it again. There we go. It's too small. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So when we're talking about the truth, hear this. No matter how you look at it, you know, this might be like, oh yeah, like the world is this way. No, the world is this way. No, the world is this way. How we see our past lives, how we see our future, how we see like after death experiences, every single reality, whatever goes on, people will have different beliefs. And each of them are valid. One person is like, hey, you know, like astrology is the biggest thing, it's gonna tell you all the truth. Like, yay. No, like, no, the prophecies, the astral projection is the thing, yay. Other person like, no, it's the science, like, blah, blah, blah. And like, everyone's agreeing to this whole thing. So it's more like, no matter how we look, whatever we believe in creates our reality of how things are. Some people, like, okay, here I am on Earth. I've just watched a bunch of videos about, like, flat Earth. I haven't been out there myself. Everything I'm finding seems to fit the new understanding that the Earth might be flat. So the person starts believing the Earth is flat. The other one has all the science and everything else, and it's more like, hey, look, we have science, we have people who've gone to the moon, we have other things. They had a whole different understanding and programming, and that the Earth is round. And there's another person who's like, hey, I've been out of body. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it this way. And each of them will have 3 different stories to tell, 3 different point of views, and all of them are true and you know, solid and stuff. So it's more like there is no truth. It's more like it's all about our beliefs and territories and how we believe and understand the world, and that can change and shift in every single second, and that is okay as well. So every single theory is fine. It's same thing like with conspiracy theories are wrong. Well, fuck you. It's like having a conspiracy theory is simply having an opinion about something. Hey, I think I've seen this thing and like I'm seeing this happening, so here's my understanding of things right now. And you just share your perception of how it is, and you're like, that's a conspiracy theory. Like, well, yeah, it's a theory, like this is how we see the world, so I'm like trying to put it out there, and like I don't have proof of this thing, I'm just like seeing it right now. It seems like that way, you know, lots of things, but like, yeah, pretty much like every theory or perspective is valid. just to say the answer. Okay, Cosmos is saying that they mess with us in dreams big time. Okay, so like, I think if you're answering my questions more regarding the dreams. Okay, so it's more of the astral. The thing in the physical was very covered. Okay, astral. Have you ever assumed that the being you're seeing in the astral is not the real deal, but more like a hologram? More like someone else putting the face and the looks of that person? Okay, Barry is asking, how do we release the beings we ask to help us from their duty to do so? Basically, I think you're talking about my videos I've made in the past where I found a few groups of people that, you know, like in our past lives we've asked for help, like, hey, make sure that in this life no one can hurt me. I'm not actually involved with people who are like below us and stuff, like kind of like fine like-minded people and stuff. And now you're here, and our buddies who had all of these things to do for us are keeping us isolated from everyone because, like, oh, they're keeping us safe and making sure we're talking to the equal and stuff. Like, so when it comes to that, you have to notice, like, what kind of blocks you have in your life. Is it more regarding like relationships? You can't get in contact with anyone? Is it more like, you know, like, hey, I'm trapped with these people, they're like not responding to me? Or maybe you have some body aches, like your body's not doing too good, maybe some other events in life. You have to look, what kind of issues do you have? Be aware of it, be specific with what it is, like exactly, and then you can look into how would this benefit me in my past life? Like, how would I know, like, okay, like, if this is what's going on to me right now, can I find anything in my past that would have actually been a thing? So one thing you can do is, like, ask yourself questions, because a lot of, like, times you ask a question, and deep within yourself you have, like, a lie detector, so you will know the truth, no matter what. You will have the right answer. So you just can have this telepathic thought of how things are, or you can see, like, okay, so if my life right now is limited, if I can't connect to any beings, if I'm doing, like, really fucked up on these, like, specific things in your mind that you have, like, a thought of and stuff, then you can simply, like, okay, if there are any beings from my past lives who are trying to help me out on this, like, as in, like, maybe in past I've asked for help regarding keeping me safe, regarding, like, not finding any messed up jobs or not having any harsh relationships and stuff, and in this life it's, like, kind of, like, impossible to go without that and stuff. So your job would be just to give the message, like, hey, if you're there helping me out just because I asked it to you in the past, just right now I wrote that fake thing, it's no longer a thing I want, and I changed my mind, so you're free, like, do whatever you want, but don't affect me anymore. That would be a part, and just, like, giving a note to those parts of yourself that might want to help you out, but, like, really don't know what you want the best. So you just, like, give the note, and, like, other parts of you, your families and stuff, will get a message, like, oh, okay, you changed your mind, fine. So you simply have to give a note to some beings, and they will, like, okay, back off. Xulu saying, I've never felt true love towards another human being until I got it from Akvile. You're so authentic and real, and that to me is so true love. Thank you for everything you did to me. My pleasure, Xulu. Sage is saying, certain crystals like blue kyanite, I think, has helped me with dream recall. I put it under my pillow. When it's not there, my dreams aren't as vivid. Let's see, blue kyanite. I haven't seen it before. Okay, people. Blue kyanite. This is the thing. Sage is saying that this one is improving the dream recall. Blue kyanite, if I'm saying it correctly. So, yeah. That's definitely something to try and get. That is asking how I play Sleeping Dogs and what's my opinion. I played, I think, the first one and just like an hour of the second one, but I haven't like tried out the Legion and stuff. It does have some good self-disclosure messages. It has some good info. But I have not played enough to actually like, hey, this is what I think, this is really good game and stuff. For me, it's like more like, they have a lot of ways to improve, at least when I saw it in the second. It wasn't my type of the game, but it's definitely something to try out. It does have a good message. So, we have 41 people here. I had my friend send me a video asking me to watch it on stream. I think he had a request for yesterday, but I wasn't live, so we can watch it today. And I did want it to get more people to notice it. So yeah, do you want some more Q&A, or would you like to watch that video from a buddy? Either way, just like tell me what you want and think, and we're gonna go from there. I think I can dig it up sometime. Video and more Q&A. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I think he will like this too. Let's see, like, there we go. Let's see. I'm gonna dig it up. Have it full screen and all. So yeah, we're gonna watch a video from my friend. His name is Letterfather. He's making gorilla films. I did not knew what it was until we talked on like Facebook, and he told me like it's pretty much like kind of like illegal filming, going into different places and having everything like prep work. It's a kind of like a fan-made film, but it's kind of like just going in with what you have yourself. Not a professional, no professional gear or anything. It's like just like with what you have. He's been doing a lot of this like covering Resident Evil topics. Working as like, who was that guy? Like, from Resident Evil. Let's see. Which guy was it? Yeah, it's like not one of those make it was more like just this guy. So anyway, a fan-made film. Let's see if it works. I think he would like my reaction. I don't know. I'm just gonna fuck it. Yeah. So let's see if we can hear it. And tell me what, we're gonna like turn off the music, because fuck that shit. But so again, like a fan-made film. This is like 2 minutes, probably and shorter. So that'll be yeah. Let's check it out. And again, this is not English, so if you're checking things out, and like let me know if there is audio, which we will know. But again, 2 minutes, fan-made. For someone who's doing this as fan-made, or like just like, you know, guerrilla filming, I would say this getting this kind of gear is pretty awesome. Romanian. Cool, yeah. I it takes a lot of shots. Like I wonder how many takes it took to get all the details. Fan-made blood and all. And we got in hell. So, as a fan-made film, I would say this is quite good. Blood is life. There we go. So yeah, that is Book of the Dead, was inspired by various mythologies and is based on the Resident Evil series. The Four Horsemen. So anyway, if anyone else wants to watch this thing, Father Leonard, check him out. He has more videos regarding Resident Evil itself, fan-made. He puts quite a lot of work. He puts quite a lot of work into this. So like, yeah, because he's my buddy, I just like want to give him kudos and, you know, support his work. I think it's awesome to go from zero to hero. You know, it's a lot of work to take into the character, try acting without having any pros, just like trying to build your gear yourself and all that. Well done. Like, I myself, like, I think about like, hey, some cinematics and projects I would like to do, but damn, with all the work involved and where I would like to take it, it's like, I'm not going there yet. But he's doing great. So Leonard, if you're watching, you're doing awesome. It's great. That being said, let's get back to our stream and answering more questions and stuff and chatting it up. Hey Marcelo, how are you doing? Okay, I'm like looking at where I finished off answering the questions. Yeah, he can become an actor. Like, I watched a few of his videos, the ones that he made. Pretty good. I mean, for someone who doesn't really have many people helping him at all, doing like creating the fake blood by yourself, like getting all the gear, setting things up, like taking the shots and risking your life in various situations. Just, I think it's awesome. And, you know, it takes a whole lot of work. So, like, I would like people to notice him. I would like to have him achieve something in life that, like, he would enjoy. Okay, so I'm like scrolling down into where people have questions. Exit the Matrix asking, can you send me an email? Definitely. Akvile@yahoo.com. I think it's usually under my videos, so just get one and like write me whenever, whatever. I'm always here for you. David Turner is asking, concerning the central bad guy in the Possessed God video, do you think that some of us or all of us are soul fragments of him? Eventually, yeah. I think a lot of us, if not all of us, probably all of us are sort of aspects. Eventually, consciousness is basically everything and nothing at all at once. It's awareness, it can experience things. And once we start identifying with the body, with like, oh, I'm gonna be this, then we start like splitting ourselves and putting ourselves into like these little boxes and vessels and stuff. But as a consciousness, again, like it's pretty much like of a whole thing that can split and like have simultaneous lives and just like millions of aspects and more than that. It's like a really advanced thing. And then once we start splitting and like losing of who we were before and like trying to become individual, like this is cool, is great, but at the same time, in the past we might have tons of beings who are like right now, like, oh, okay, I played enough times of the good guy, I want to like turn it like into like bad guy. For example, you might play a video game and you're playing, let's say, as for example, we can have Lord of the Rings. And you can play as a human, you can play as an elf, you can play as some other beings, and you play it for like, I don't know, 50 years. Same old team, same humans and elves, we're the good guys, yay. But eventually you get bored, like, this is same old shit, I want a new game. And to change it up, you're gonna like, what if I play as Mordor? What if I play as Saruman and like just like try to play orcs and Urha and just attack the humans? All of a sudden it's more interesting. So just like we have a good aspect of us like, hey, we're trying to help people, we definitely have another aspect of us who is like completely the opposite in the destruction and stuff like that, and just like trying to experience life in different forms. So some people create a realm and they're gonna have all of their sexual fantasies pleased and they're gonna enjoy it for hundreds of thousands of years. And then like, okay, that was fun, did that for a while, I want something new, let's do something this. And you can have lives of like, pure love and pure connection, great relationships and creating worlds and realities and other stuff. And you please everything and you're like, I want something new. What if I kill someone? And all of a sudden you're like, hey, this is new, I wasn't sure like what that would feel like, and it's kind of like a new experience, and you start like going, ape shit crazy and like destroying others. So like that part, like when the possessed gods, just consciousness, another aspect of us who's going rogue and like just like destroying everything, is definitely like connected. It just depends on how deep we look at this. And to take another like part of your question, and to lead this realm under his control, we don't find him, but instead merge with him, and from that greater identity participate in the higher realm in which he exists. That would be one of the ways. That would be like, instead of fighting him, just kind of like merge, like basically imagine like shifting your point of view into his body, for example, and all of a sudden, just from being within, you can change the being, like, okay, we're gonna change your mission and do this. It's kind of like, like people like who are doing like remote viewing, like see things and like, okay, this is what I'm seeing and stuff. But you can also remotely control people. As in, okay, for example, there's another person in the house, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's like mother or dad, like they're watching TV or cooking dinner and stuff, and you simply like, okay, I know what they're doing, so you just like sort of like put your consciousness or focus on them, and like as if you were in their body, as if you are that person, and all of a sudden like, okay, I am my dad, I'm watching TV, I'm gonna get up. And like, like you're imagining being in dad's body and like imagining him getting up from the couch and stuff. And next thing you know, your dad gets up from the couch and you're like remotely controlling him. So same thing can be done to those aspects out there. Just like, okay, here's a bad guy coming at me. And boom, you move your consciousness or aspect of yourself into their body. Like, boom, I'm you now, haha. So you can have fully taken over others if wanted, or you can actually change their goals and perceptions. Okay, I'm just sort of slowly scrolling down the questions, checking out what you're talking about, people. We have Don Mackey join the stream, Elena as well. Wicked 1. Infinite Quarters is saying, hey, Akvile, I thought that going vegetarian was what helped my visual clear up, right? But within a few days, I found out that instead it was going gluten free and dairy free. That's good to know. Gluten free and dairy free. Good now. Thank you, Infinity Quarters. Wow. He's saying that like I worked so hard for the last 3.5 years to develop my mental visualization ability, and my diet of eating gluten and dairy was totally blocking my ability, and now I can see. This is good. mm. Melina's asking, is monarch mind control MK Ultra a real thing, or is it a modern day myth? Have you ever worked with someone that has been the victim of mind control? It's more than real. It's like an everyday thing. I have tons of victims of this whole thing. People who have actually been like kids of those that worked with the Masons, of like kids of actual Masons and Illuminati members, and like they're saying like been messed up since the birth, been like raped and stuff, and the whole MK Ultra thing is, damn, it really fucks people up. It does. I wish I could say like, ah, it's a myth, haha, but people are suffering from it really bad. Matrix is asking, what do you think of quantum jumping? There are forms where people shift their desired reality and never come back. Some of them leave clone behind, and others transfer their consciousness to another realm. And there are even kids shifting reality, and not temporarily, just kind of like permanently. There's a lot of ways to do this. Like an everyday dreaming, everyday daydreaming and imagination is part of it. Like, so it's kind of like you're focusing on a better reality, or it's like something that you really want, and your full focus is not here mentally. It's kind of like, oh, daydreaming, just focusing on something better, and boom, your consciousness is in that place, and you can bring back in like information, you can bring back knowledge and abilities and like get it back, but you can actually like really like kind of like try to getting out of body, but like jumping into another space and staying there. So like just like going out of body and never coming back is possible. Quantum jumping and like not being here is totally possible as well. It's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing if you can get out of here and be free from this place, and if you can actually bring back some other things if you want. For example, for those that want to stay but want their life better, quantum jumping is the way to just like get massive flows of information and abilities and stuff. So that's a cool thing. I use it. I use it myself, but basically just to either like power up myself with a lot of abilities, or just like kind of enhance my visuals, enhance my energy and stuff. It's kind of like just jumping and all this stuff. So, yep. People are saying that they like the quality of the video watched, so father should be happy about it. Again, like I'm slowly scrolling down and checking out for the comments and questions so that I could answer. Sacred Ganj is asking, or like saying, hey Akvile, you need to check out Warframe. It's a free game I found that it resembles what we've been seeing in Ubi. Warframe, okay, let's check it out. Warframe. Warframe, huh? Okay. Let's see. I like the ET body. Like this is exactly like when you go out of body, all these spaceships and stuff. That's definitely a thing. So we're just checking out, like a person said, like that this is close to what we're talking about in newbies. So all kinds of things. Oh, okay, traveling. We have Earth, cool. ECTs and stuff. Their looks, it's definitely out there. Looks pretty good. We might try playing it. Okay, so I'm getting an idea. Another beings out there, kind of fire and stuff. Alright. Maybe something to do. Actually, the Matrix is asking, why would higher consciousness hurt others? Why not? Why not? It's like, a lot of people are like looking at this duality, good and bad, right or wrong. Let's look at this that way. You might own a shop with a lot of like thingies, I don't know, like maybe jewelry, maybe something else. You have your own store. Here comes a person. He steals your jewelry, like a handful of stuff, and just runs away and gets away. It's like, cool. Now he's a thief. He's a bad guy. He's a very bad guy because he's ruining your business. He's a thief, like evil motherfucker. Thief, on the other hand, his family's starving. Children are about to die. He has a few puppies as well, and like they're all suffering, and like, ah, shit, we're gonna... Like, I have so many people I love, and they're all dying. And he has a handful of jewelry he just, like, grabbed. So he sells it all, brings money to the whole family, gives them money, and makes sure like, you know, like they are fed, they have plenty of food, they're warm, they have roof over their head, they're all happy. That person and the whole family thinks this is a good guy. He saved us, he loves us, he really cared for us, and on the other hand, he stole something. Two different people, two different realities, two different point of views, one person. Good guy, bad guy, thief, and like great father and stuff. Then we have, for example, a person like his family is also like really suffering in like really poor country and stuff, like kind of like maybe in those Muslim countries, and he has a great health insurance. If anything happens to him, specifically if he dies in this explosive accident, like maybe on a plane, their family's gonna get like at least $500,000. He takes a bomb, boom, Allah Akbar, the plane explodes, and people are like, oh my god, the biggest incident, like fucking terrorists and stuff. The guy sacrificed himself so that his family would get $500,000. People who died on a plane, everyone's like, oh my god, I lost my loved one, and that fucker, he was guilty because of that. The whole family was like, yay, we can finally like break free and like we like grieve on our loved one. And it's a thing, like it's a lot like regarding what is good and bad, right and wrong. It's simply point of view. Nothing else. Duality out there, it's a programmed thing. Because when you go in the 4th and 5th dimension, people shoot each other because it's fun. People are going into wars because it's fun. Not because like, oh, I have to take over things. No, it's more like, hey buddy, let's go test out our skills. Like, you just want to fight with each other and stuff. It's fun. You as a consciousness, for trillions of years, lived a peaceful life and did nothing but like, been like peaceful and loving and kind, and eventually you're like, damn, this is getting so boring, I want something new. And you go into destroying and killing, like, oh my god, I have so many powers, and boom, woo, and like all of a sudden it's going crazy good, like, and you've never had so much fun exploding things. And all of a sudden, like, hey, look, You have so much fun. This is the best day of your life. You're breaking free. You're learning your new abilities. You're like exploding things, and this is so much fun. The being didn't turn dark. He found a new way to enjoy himself. Like, oh, destruction, awesome. And so we have different emotions. We have different things we want to do. And one day as a kid, you might have actually like, okay, I'm getting bored. Mom, 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 mom. I was like, what? And you're like, ha ha ha, I got that reaction. So you're now being like a really annoying kid, annoying brat, like poking things and making fun of your classmates and stuff. But you're trying to get attention. You're trying to kind of like do things in your own way. Maybe not destroying, but you're being annoying. You know, and so, same shit. Like, people will like, oh, stop being such a fucking bully, stop being such an asshole and stuff, and they might hate you because they think you're bad, but you're like, I'm not bad, I didn't do anything, I'm just like, like repeating your names a few times because, like, I want attention and stuff. So it's like, literally, your point of view, and just like trying to do something that's fun. And there are good guys out there in space who don't want to stop the war because it's fun fighting the bad guys, because, like, hey, it's challenging, finally, something good. If you play a video game where you're a professional, you're like the best in the league, and you have thousands of players and you like win over them all, like, hey, I am super good. And you have to play against a bot who's super easy. It's like, damn, this game is no fun, delete. Like, why bother? So you want to practice. You go into games like, I don't know, like a volleyball, basketball and stuff, and you become a professional player. You go into NBA, you're like, you're the best. And they bring a toddler. It's like, are you gonna have so much fun playing it against a toddler than like having one of the best players in the league? No, so you want someone equal. And a lot of beings out there, they love a challenge. It's just part of it. We have both, the good aspect and the dark aspect, where sometimes we're like, hey, we're having fun, it's all loving. But same us will be like, hey, I want to destroy things because it's fun. So the whole duality thing, understanding here is like really trapping and limiting us, but out there, people don't react the same way. People don't react the same way. Okay, I am Yahoo is asking, do we have to be able to get out of body to create our afterlife heaven with no unwanted beings? No. You have full freedom to do everything you want while being here. It's like getting out of body is a bonus because you can see things for yourself, like right away. And like, hey, this is how it is, cool, everything is working. And so you get like more assurance that it's really going and happening. But while being here, like fully physically here, awake, you don't have to be asleep, you don't have to be in a dream form. No, you can like be sitting in the car, driving, going to work, you can have lunch and stuff. And you're simply like, okay, if it was my perfect place, like my own paradise, my own, this, sacred island and stuff, and I just like paradise place, and you have your own visuals of what kind of place would be the best for you. And you're like, okay, like I would love to have this awesome beach and kind of like a tropical climate that's pretty warm. And you're just like, think about the perfection, about what you would like to have, and your thoughts and your intention to create this manifests it. So you don't have to get out of body to make this thing happen. You can simply daydream about it, you can think about it, you can focus on it. Even if you do not have any visuals, you simply think about the details. Like, okay, if I would have a perfect place, it would be more in kind of like CGI anime type, and it would be this, and you simply think of the details. Maybe you bring up some pictures from Google, like, hey, this thing seems like a cool place, and you sort of like, this would be a thing, and this would be a thing, and you focus on it. And you can manifest it without having to get out of body. So you can definitely create planets and planes and realms while being here fully awake. You don't need to get out of body to create other realms. I look at this comment like from the Exit the Matrix where he's saying, if no one is hurting you, then what's the need to harm someone to protect yourself? Like Akvile say, some conscious want to experience evil, but I say no higher consciousness is interested in that. And that would be... That's not necessarily a thing. I mean, like, there's a lot of beings who can simply like, hey, I have no need to hurt anyone or anything. But I've seen beings who are like, you know, like, starts out like it's just like point of view. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna create a planet. And they create a planet with all the details and stuff. And then another planet, another thing, like, all of a sudden, like, hey, a lot of these places and like, oh, this one is messed up. I didn't like it. It's not perfect. Boom, and destroys everything. It's like, oh, that was kind of enjoyable. Kind of like watching fireworks and like, huh. You look at your other creations, your other planets, like, it's like explodes one after another. You destroy everything. Like, haha, that was fun. So like, there are plenty of beings out there who are not like really pure evil, but they enjoy the sense of destruction. Like, hey, wow, that's like watching a firework and stuff. So like, it's really enjoyable for some beings. Yeah, I feel like when we talk about like I'm looking at the Exit the Matrix comments regarding there is evil consciousness and benevolent consciousness. You would have to go find their beings originally and see how they can actually be both at the same time. It's just for the hell of it, just for the experience, really. For me, it's like easy to talk because I've seen these things. To put it like into like, hey, it's really a thing, and you know, it's like, why bother like proving or making it a thing? It's no biggie. But you can definitely find a being who is benevolent and loves destruction. It's like a kid builds a Lego house, and oh, it's so fun to destroy it afterwards. Just like, oh, look, all these Lego blocks falling apart, and I can build something new. It's fun. There's tons of these beings. I mean, there is no need to hurt others. Like, you're like, oh, like I'm just gonna destroy things so you can actually move those like Lego people out of the house and then like enjoy like destroying the house. But like, not everyone is considerate. Okay, Accident is asking, since I can quantum jump, why haven't I shifted to a better realm than this? I have. I do it every day. Every single day, I out of body experience and I quantum jump to different places and I help other beings out, and I spend a lot of time out there. It's just that I have a few goals out here, and while my physical body is here, I can shift and enjoy most of my day and like most of my night in the other realms. But at the same time, while I'm here, I can make things productive and enjoy life. So yeah. Marcel MC has a really good question. A well-respected group of remote viewers say things will go really bad very soon on Earth. If I choose to believe this isn't true, can I go to another timeline? How does this work? Yeah, you can definitely do this. You can definitely shift your timeline. It's basically, some people say like 2012, the world ends. Oh, like maybe there's gonna be events of, let's say, in past where we're gonna have the meteorite, we're gonna have like the earthquakes and like volcano eruptions and other things, like all of these like disasters and stuff that can happen, that can really mess us up and like cause a lot of chaos and really ruin our lives. And we're like, oh, like I don't want it to happen. So like a lot of people can shift into chaos and like a panic mode. Others like, nope, I don't believe it. Like I don't give a damn, but not in my world. So basically, you just like focus on like, okay, in my world, this is, and you create your scenario where like, hey, I can move away, I can actually have this going, but I don't care what other people say, they have their own opinion and experience, and this is cool, I can respect them, but for me, this is my world, and then you can like ask, or like let's say, have details of what your reality would be like. So, while some people will like have like, oh my god, there's gonna be like a massive earthquake ruining things, or like volcano eruptions and stuff, tornadoes, and like really like, the whole town's gonna be messed up, like California fires and all that, but you can also like say, hey, in my world, this place is fine. In my world, there's a lot of rain and where it's peaceful and like people are doing good. So you start like shifting into like where your world's gonna be different. And just because you focus on it and you're able to feel the emotions, like just kind of like law of attraction, living it, you're slowly shifting your consciousness and like going on to a different road. So that those events will happen, but you're on a whole different timeline where this is not affecting you anymore. So yeah, I would like probably recommend like kind of like George L. Preslin. He's the one that can help you with different realities and like creating your own world. That is mentioning like freeze destroying Saiyan planets. That's definitely a thing. No concerns there. Matrix is saying, Akvile, think about it. If consciousness wants to experience evil, why would it be stupid to trap itself into this realm? Because if you look up World Economic Forum, UN Agenda, New World is basically about turning humans into machines. The consciousness has to be fucking dumb to go here like, oh, I'm gonna help humanity. One, it has to be dumb, it has to be unaware, and it has to be like, oh, I'm gonna go and like try something new. It's like, if you want to learn something, like, this thing is poisonous and it will kill you if you drink it. Like, oh, well, I have to experience it because like the label says it, and out there in different realms I can't learn this, so I have to drink this stuff and poison myself to actually understand the harm. Like, it's bullshit. You know everything that you can learn and stuff. So to experience evil, there's plenty out. Like, the real evil games start out there. The real evil is out there. Here, we have more control. We have a few groups messing with us. But boy, are there really bad scenarios out there. The real stuff. To say like what's going on here? We just have a few groups having fun, and that's their own powerhouse. So for them, it's cool. For us, there's a lot of dumb, stupid beings who are trapped here like humans. Like, oh fuck, we're gonna suffer and stuff. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people who have been captured against their own free will, coming forcefully, like being forced to come here on Earth. There's a lot of those that did not agree, that did not want to be here, but they were forced to come here against their own free will, and now they're suffering. There's a lot of that. Yeah, the consciousness that wants to experience evil will not go here to this realm. Not at all. There's a lot of beings who are super powerful who are like, okay, just like, let's do something evil. And they're gonna do it out there because they have much more freedom. Over here, a lot of beings who can do evil are limited. Exit the Matrix is asking, why would consciousness want to experience to be trapped forever? Who said it wants to be trapped? There's like, oh, okay, like, I want to see what it's like to be in a cage. Okay, I kind of get it. Because they can all, like, do a simulation themselves and they're done. This realm, 3D, forget about consciousness wants this and that, consciousness wants to experience this and that. No, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game. Harry person's asking, aren't we here to witness the awakening? No. No. Sadly. We're here mainly because we're trapped. We're here mainly because a lot of people got captured against their own free will. We're here mainly because some people thought like, hey, I'm a powerful being, I'm gonna come here and free others and like help out people. I'm gonna be a teacher. Boom! And you can't remember shit and you're limited as can be and you're suffering and your life is going to hell and you're unhappy motherfucker, depressed all the time, trying to, you know, like blame others about your life and like, fuck it, I don't want to live here anymore. That's where we are. That's what we're witnessing. The thing we have here is like, get the fuck out and never come back. It's not about Earth is the school where you learn things. It's a fucking prison planet. It's gonna mess you up as much as possible. It's here for beings who want to destroy you, who want to capture you, who want to make sure that a powerful being like you can't do shit in other realms. You're getting in the way too much out there, and because they cannot win the fight, because you're too fucking powerful, they have to do everything they can, and because you're like, I am a good guy, I like helping people, they drop your scenario, well, hey good guy, there's a lot of trapped people here, you should go save them. You know, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a good guy, I'm gonna go save them, and boom, can't remember shit, you're born here, and you're trapped, and oh my god. So, no learning, no awakening, no nothing, it's more like stuck with a bunch of sheeples who really buy up in the system and think this is the only thing that can only be. You live only once, Earth is the only thing. That's what I'm saying. Like Franco, Fabio, I agree with your perceptions. Like just like a consciousness wants to experience things in a higher level, where they have all possibilities. When they can do simulations and like they can create things and uncreate them, they can create things and destroy them. We have all kinds of areas where we have control. But then there are beings who can go like, hey, I'm gonna create this place, and I want to see if I can have control over others. And they kind of go dark. They kind of go like just really a lot of their experimentations and stuff, and they go sideways. And a lot of people buy into different stories, and they get hurt. So it's not for more like this experience we have here in the 3D. It's not Earth School. It's not a place where we're gonna learn, where we're gonna experience something important. No, it's a trap. This place is a freaking trap where God consciousness is being cut up from everything they were doing. If you were a fighter, if you were helping someone else, they caught you and now you're here. Yeah, I mean, at least from everything we have here, at least on Earth, the nature and animals, that's a good thing. That's the only good thing we probably have. But the rest is pretty much a control system. Before it got corrupted, This was a pretty good place. But then we have some other beings who are trying to win the massive war in the 4th and 5th dimension. 3D is just a child's game. This is a simple sandbox, a simple playground. This is where 4-year-old kindergarten kids are like, hey, let's play around, let's build sandcastles. This is fun. And here comes like, oh no, I don't like your sandcastle. And they destroy it and they do their own things. And this is fun. And kids are playing in the garden. This is us, stuck in that little sandbox. Out there, the big guys, the grown-ups, are actually playing these massive wars. They're going into space operas and blowing each other up, trying to fight off the battle groups, and this is a big deal. And beings like us used to be in those wars. Beings like us used to be part of it. And because you're so freaking powerful, you're dangerous. And they're those who don't want you to be stopping their game. Who don't want you to get in their way and like, hey, this is their playground because they took over. Now they're giving on the rules. It's kind of like a mafia boss comes in the town like, this is my town now. And they buy out everyone and, you know, have control. And here comes a newbie in the town like, hey, where's all the cops? The cops are not helping people and stuff. What the fuck? Same thing. Here comes like a fucking Marduk and like others showing everything off. They own everything and like, cool. Now everyone's like trying to fight back and oops, we're kind of like useless, can't do shit. Yeah, I like that, like, rabbit and carrot thing. Cute icons. Yeah, these beings, like Cosmos is mentioning, the Baphomet and others, like kind of like demonic beings, there's a lot of those that are really into pure control and domination. This is their thing. This is like what they're good at. It's like, you can try yourself in like lots of different directions in life. And you can try to love and you can try to give and you can try to say speeches and stuff. But like, well, a lot of people around you kind of complain like, you could do better. Like, I've seen someone who's better than that now. So we have a lot of like ways to go in life and we have a lot of beings watching us telling us how we are. And then, oops, the only thing you are good at in your life is like, hey, I'm playing video games. I'm actually good at this one. I'm actually good at like shooting people and stuff. Like, or you go into military and all of a sudden the military is the only good thing you can do. Like, you're like, hey, you can actually work out. You can like go with the routine and discipline. You can do everyday schedule and stuff. And like, hey, this is the only thing in life that I'm actually kind of enjoying and like people praise me for that. Hey, this is something I can do. Same thing, being out there. Marduk versus Thanos. Marduk wins, sadly. But yeah, there's a lot of things that get out of hand. How can we remember who we are? We have to drop identifying with who we are. We have to drop the labels. Forget this physical body, forget, you know, like, not like, forget for real, but more like, just like, stop identifying as it. Identifying as I'm a human being, I am this, I am that, I am this, and all. It's part of, like, putting you in a box and trapping you. If you can let go, like, okay, I am unlimited, like, infinite consciousness. I'm awareness. And all of a sudden, you're everything that is and nothing at all. And with that, you have a way to look into your past and recall all that. You have ways into like, okay, like, well, who was in the past life? Who was I before? So to remember who we are, we have to drop the program we got here on Earth. We got to look into who we were in the past, to look into like, hey, okay, so I was a human, and I was reptilian, and I was Pleiadian, and I was Arcturian, and I was like another reptilian, and I was Mantis, and Draconian. Oh wow, but whoa, like I was a scientist and stuff. So you can find that you've been all of these aspects. We've been all of these beings. The thing is, the irony of it all is everything that is happening to us right now. We have done it to others. Everything that is happening to us right now, we have done it to others. You suffering, you being trapped, you getting a headache, you getting all that stuff. You have done it to others. It's a cycle. It's not like, hey, well, it's not a karma thing. It's more like the experience. You've suffered. You did the same thing to others. You watched other beings do it to the others, and you did it to yourself. There's a lot of variations, and if you are able to look into your past lives, specific issue, you can track back where you did it all. You can track back different like lifetimes where, okay, right here on Earth, you're imprisoned by reptilians, by some other beings, and you hate them with all your heart. You're like, these are the bad guys. They're trapping me. Because of them, I'm stuck. But you look into our past lives and I'm like, oh wow, I was a human being and we had a whole planet like with reptilians who were trapped, who were suffering, who, oh wow, like the whole George Orwellian system, but it's actually humans controlling reptilians. Humans having them on chains, humans like starving them to death and actually hitting them and like suffering them like and all the stuff. Like wow, we were taking away their IQ, like making sure they are like dumbed down and like going autistic and stuff. So wow, that's what I did like past life. And you're able to recall that. And you recall further than that where you've seen other beings do it to each other. Where you see like, wow, they did it to like that group and did it to this, and like you're watching them do to that to others. And then you recall yourself, like, what happens if I actually fuck myself over? If I trap myself? Boom. And so, if you can recall your past lives and go long enough, each and every one of you will find a lifetime where whatever's happening to you right here on Earth, whatever you're experiencing right now, you will see it where whatever happened to you, you did it to others, you've seen others do it to others, and you've did it to yourself. It's a cycle, and it's a lot to grasp. It's like, no, come on, I can't be a satanic bitch, come on, I'm not a pedophile. Who would do that shit? But you look at your past lives. Oh look what you found here. Look at that one. It's kind of hard to confront, isn't it? So a lot of things we're not aware of, and something we truly hate in these lives can be something we've actually did ourselves. So depends how deep you go exploring. And eventually you see like, hey, well, okay, I experienced all of it. What did I choose to do with it now? Since I've seen both like beauty and pain, since I've been trapped myself and I've trapped others in the past, what do I do now? And you make a choice after that. But come on, like sort of like infinite consciousness. Right now, since we're kind of stuck in this prison planet, our goal is to, while we're here, try to wake up others so that like others wouldn't be trapped, if that's something you want to do. But make sure you get out of here and never come back. Stop being trapped. So, yeah, I'm gonna look back at the comments and questions and stuff, and Liberty Airbrushing, $20 donation, holy cow, thank you, means a lot to me. Samuel is asking, if a person dies depressed and with anxiety, how will the afterlife be for that person? Sometimes it can be the best thing that can happen. For example, a depressed person who is really suffering in this life is a person that is actually daydreaming of a better world. And those who are suffering, those who are going through a lot of pain are like, man, I wish this world was better. Like we have Exit the Matrix, who sees so much corruption in this life that he actually sees the earth where everyone has equal rights, where people have food and shelter, where there's no one suffering. So you are able to see perfect reality, perfect world where you have all the conditions where everything's going on. So knowing how much crap can go in your life and being fucked up, being depressed, going through a lot of anxieties and other things in life that can really mess you up, you end up daydreaming of a better world. And once your physical body drops dead, you, all this time, were creating this world of perfection, where all the stuff that you've been suffering from doesn't exist. And now this being that has been suffering a lot is free. So there's a lot of variations, but like, Just because a person is depressed, just because the person is suffering and going through harsh emotions, it does not mean that we are gonna go into this harsh life and like go into hell or something. No. It's just like, hey, come on. Like, it really depends on our beliefs and territories. A depressed person might actually believe like, hey, once I'm dead, I'm gonna be free from this all. I'm gonna free from this jail. I'm gonna be free of these emotions, and I'm gonna free from it all. They get out and boom, the case is gone. No more bad emotions, no more bad feelings. They're like, wow, I just love this freedom. And all of a sudden, their emotions leave them that were bad, and they're able to experience the whole new level. So, whatever you're feeling right now on Earth, whether you're suffering, whether you have some harsh emotions, whether it is getting in your way, just think of a better world for yourself. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do? How would that place look like? And you just either imagine it and visualize it. If you can't see it, think about it. And you have your own perfect reality where things would be in your way, where things are in peace, where you have love, where everything is perfect in your own standards and stuff. You create a place for yourself, away from these dualities, away from places where archons will not find you, where there'll be no entities and stuff, and you just created this place for yourself, or maybe for people that you allowed to get in. Your physical body drops dead and boom, you appear in that world. And this is your perfection. And you can relax, and finally start recalling your past lives and learning more things and get more information. And hey, you're in that world and you're like, I want to learn something new. How do you do that? Okay, boom. And you create this like massive library right in front of you, in the plain fields of like all the flowers, and you're just like enjoying the sun, warm weather, and this like massive library is right in front of you, and you pull out a book and read about new things, or you just like look at the book and they're able to consume like photographic memory, just consume all the material and get it to yourself. And while you're there, you can like, okay, I want a library about reptilians, I want a library about soul traps, I want a library about this, about like teleportation. And you start learning new things while being in your own created world. So just because your physical body drops dead doesn't mean it gets smaller right away. But once you're creating your own place, you can manifest anything. You can manifest your own perfect place that no one will be able to get to, so you're safe, and you have all the time on your hands to do absolutely anything you want. To please yourself in any way, to get all information, to like, hey, well, I don't know what to do next. And no one's rushing you. Enjoy yourself, extend your realm, create some animals in there if anything, just like make your own rules. You're the boss there. So I think like there's a lot of great possibilities of what can happen. Just because, we're not feeling good right now, we don't have to be afraid of it. Marcelo is asking how to make sure we can get out of this world. Marcelo, I think like the best thing for us is just getting as much information and knowledge as possible. You can listen to me and like hear like, okay, this is what Akvile thinks and believes in, great. And then you listen to other people and like read some articles, some books, and just like get as many point of views as possible and find the belief system that fits you the best. I have my own experience. I've been talking to a lot of people that have passed away that have been here on Earth. I've talked to a lot of people that have been from other places, and I have a lot of clients and looking into their pasts and stuff. So like I'm sharing kind of like my first-hand experience of what I'm seeing, of stories people are telling me when I'm out there, and that's like where I'm like sort of like sharing like what I know so far. But there's a whole lot that I have not experienced like from right now, from my point of view where I am right now. So you can listen to other people and just like learn of possibilities, learn of what you can have and experience. Now once you have like, okay, so I know of possible things that can trap me, the white light, the soul traps, the other things, like for example like archons and like beings like pretending to be someone I know and stuff. You know what kind of dangers to expect, what kind of things you want to sort of like be aware of. And now that you're like, okay, so now that I know of things that can trap me, I'm gonna be careful of it. I'm gonna make sure that I avoid these things. Because you have the awareness, beings out there like, oh, okay, well, this person has a lot of the awareness, so we're not gonna bother like trying to trap him. We're gonna go for someone who's asleep, who have no experience and stuff. And all of a sudden, you get out there, your physical body drops dead. It really depends on your belief system territory where you find yourself, because you can awaken like, hey, you're seeing your physical body right here laying, or you can open your eyes and be in this like pitch black space. You're like, hey, look around, cool. Or you can simply appear in a whole new planet, like, hey, wow, like a new planet, like maybe something you've created in the past. So really, it's all about like learning as much as possible, knowing of things that can trap you, and once you have the awareness, big dogs don't want to mess with you because it's gonna be useless, because they know like you're aware, you know how things work, you know what you can do, and they're not gonna bother trying to trap you because they're gonna be busy with someone who doesn't know about things. So if you have knowledge about how things work and possible things to expect, you have to make sure you are aware of possibilities out there, but you're not afraid of it. You're not living in fear where like, oh my god, the grid, oh my god, the archon, oh my god, this and stuff. No. All this fear stuff is bullshit. It's something to scare you and something to disempower you. You have to take it all apart. You have to empower yourself. You are super powerful, you can do absolutely everything, and no one will hurt you. So just because you are aware of some traps, now that you know about these things, you're free. You can simply like, okay, here are tons of traps, and since I'm a free being, I'm gonna teleport, and boom, your physical body drops dead, and you can teleport anywhere you want. Nothing will stop you. So how do we escape? We learn about possibilities that can keep us here, to make sure we avoid them, and make sure we know about our belief systems, what we can do, what we're capable of, and then using it to empower ourselves. Then you can teleport and do whatever you want, and nothing can stop you. The Andromedan is asking, Akvile, have you experienced channeling? I think a few times. I've connected to some of my other parts where I'm just getting this like massive loads of information, like holy cow, like it just like seems like one day I'm doing whatever, and all of a sudden I get this like massive knowing of things and like more understanding. So I was able to connect with my other parts and have like, hey, wow, like I just know much more, and all of a sudden it just comes to me. So it happened a few times, but I'm also being kind of like careful of it, because like I don't like channeling. If I get an information, but it's more like being connected with myself and kind of using like quantum jumping, where I turn into other parts of myself, and any information those parts have, I will take it and put it in myself. So kind of like copy paste thing, kind of like download it, but that's where it stops. Other than that, I want to be careful. Like I don't want to do channeling, because there's a lot of beings out there who we cannot trust, and they might come out as like sounding really good, sounding really like friendly and all, but at the same time they can try to deceive us. And a lot of people who are doing channeling don't notice how like at first it sounds like really legit information and it's really good, but in a while it's kind of like a bit of flies and a bit of flies. First they gain the trust, and next thing they're taking over and giving us a lot of like false messages and stuff. So I'm more like into, I'm gonna download information that I need from my other aspects. I know it's the real deal, but after that it's more like, okay, gonna just like be free from that and not connect to anyone who can sort of deceive me. So that would be like the channeling in my experience. But basically just like ability to be like a radio station, and you can tune in to other people, receive what they're saying, and get information and words and stuff. So I'm pretty much like keeping myself close to everyone and just like open up to other parts of me. So yeah. Carson is asking, what are your thoughts on December 21st? What about it? December 21st, what's going on there? I don't know, like, if you're asking about the big event or some other stuff. The only thing I could probably fill you in, or I listened to, like, Alex Jones for, like, an interview with Joe Rogan, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, and he did mention that, like, after, like, November 3rd, with, after the election, there's gonna be, like, 79 days of hell, which means there's gonna be the, you know, like, a Democratic Party, and they're, like, really all pretty much like the draconian system and stuff, and they're like really are gonna try to fuck everyone over because they're losing. So it's kind of like a dying animal who's fighting for their lives as much as possible. So like we might have a lot of like bad things going on. Yeah, like the Cabal wants to implement New World Order from that date. Like it's a lot of that stuff. So like possible like rebelling and like trying to fight people and cause chaos all over the place. They're even like sort of like threatening to turn off like internet and like blackouts and stuff like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm pretty busy with myself and like helping people and exploring the multiverse. So I don't know. Eddie saying, "You're awesome, Akvile. Thanks for all your info and everything you do." Peace. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I hope you're getting something out of it. John Ford is asking, what could you do if you will reach a certain level in the society and the Cabal Archons contact you to work for their agenda? If we're talking about like similar cases to, let's say, for David Icke reaches like a limit where like Alex Jones and David Icke banned from the platforms and stuff. Let's say I get enough influence where people like, hey, they're getting a lot of information, maybe I have good sources and give you something, and you're like, hey, finally some truth, and they're like, shut the fuck up, Akvile. So they're like trying to take me down, and like that would be a level where they would like contact me to flip, or we can go into different scenarios where they actually hire people for their societies into secret space program, into military, and it's like working in underground labs and stuff to work with ETs and stuff. That would be a thing. I would like, I'm trying to say no. I know by values and I know my self-worth, and like it's either they kill me or they have to like really fuck me up. I don't know. Like it's hard to talk because none of that is happening. Like it's not just like, oh, this is possible scenario and stuff, but for me, like I'm not even there yet, so. Yeah, so like quite a few people listen to the podcast. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Lots of good info they have. They erased Loris Eisenhower's Facebook profile, huh? David Rodriguez. They're good. Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like a. Once you have quite an audience, once you have quite the reach, and someone tries to silence you, it just only proves that there's some truth to what you're saying. So, let's say people who get quite the inventions, and then they get heart attacks out of the blue. Like they were super healthy, and all of a sudden, boom, drop dead. People start investigating, and people start finding out truth. So it's like a double-edged sword. They try to silence us, but it backfires because people start looking into this. You cannot kill curiosity. You cannot. And that's the thing about, like, waking up. It's addictive, and there's no way back. You find out information, you're like, no, that's not true, that's not true. Is it? And you start looking into this, and you're like just trying to deny it, but you find out like, oh fuck, you know, like you find more and more and more, and all of a sudden you're like, the new little conspiracy theorist. Andromeda is asking, is Yahweh a parasite god? Pretty much. It's a massive control thing. Sadly, like, a lot of these, like, god figures on the earth is just, like, use, like, hey, control and dominate and divide people, but that's where it ends. They can have entities and bigger creatures out there holding the name, and they're gonna mess us up. Anyway, yeah, we've been talking about for 2.5 hours, and it's almost 11 p.m. my time, so I'm gonna shift into probably doing some more work or something else. But hey, it's always a pleasure talking to you people, and good to hear about your point of views and what you're talking about. It's cool to see you engage with each other. So hey, thank you all for tuning in and watching and asking questions and sharing your opinions. I'm always amazed that like there's such a strong community here, and I'm glad that like you're able to talk it out, to say what you think, to say what you feel and all, and that's cool. So that being said, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. So bye bye.